Char Margolis, Char Communications Incorporated, and CharVision LLC do not endorse or offer for any purpose but entertainment the views of any guest or other expert on CharVision or UBN.
I knew things before they happened from the time I was a child. At the age of 8, I saw a spirit at the foot of my bed and didn't know what it was. And in my 20s, I finally realized I had a special ability that could help others. I have learned that love never dies. There is a spirit world that can communicate with us, and we all have the gift of intuition. Join me, and together we will explore the possibilities of the unknown from beyond and more. This is CharVision. Hi, everybody. I'm intuitive psychic medium Char Margolis, and this is Sunny Margolis, my psychic sidekick, Sunny and Char Day. And today I've got an amazing show. I mean, really amazing. I have a woman coming in. Her name is Dr. Cherilyn Lee. And just to start off, she was told she had to have both legs amputated when she was 7 years old. But it didn't happen. She's going to tell us the whole story. And she's an alternative medicine person. And she's had awards by Barack Obama. I mean, she's amazing. But she's a little bit late. And usually all my Char visionaries are used to me interviewing someone and then doing a reading. But today we're going to do it differently. And I just also want to say that besides Tony Sweet, who I love, thank you, Tony, Jason Ball and Kimberly Cornell from KTLA are in the house. Woohoo! You can't see them, but they're here. So we're going to just jump into a reading first. And her name is Stacy. And I think, Stacy, Nikki introduced you to how to do the reading, right?
A little bit, yes. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so just be open-minded about everybody living and deceased, and don't say the name unless I say it first.
Okay.
And then you can repeat it. But don't just look for one person. Be open about everybody, okay? Because I have a feeling you're looking for one deceased person. And I'm not saying I won't get them, but you need to be open about everybody, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and I always, just for the viewers at home, she happens to be in my office in Michigan because you can see my books in the background, but I know nothing about her. I know absolutely nothing about her. So I'm going to say my prayer protection, and then we're going to start. We ask the universal consciousness and God that holds the highest spiritual power of knowledge, wisdom, and truth to guide and protect us as we communicate with our guides and angels in the spirit world and tap into the wisdom of the universe. We respect this opportunity and take full responsibility to use this not for ego or controlling others, but with the pure intention of spreading love and healing life on this earth and beyond. Okay, so is your mom deceased?
No.
Your mom is living. Is there a female deceased around you?
My grandma, yeah.
Your grandma. So were you really close to your grandma?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. Is there an A or M person around you? An A or an M? Or middle name or last name?
No, my aunt is living and she has an A in her name.
Does it start with an A?
Yes.
Is she spelled A-N or A-L?
A-N, yes.
Like Anne or Anna?
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie, okay. And is she related to the grandma who crossed over?
No, she's not.
Okay, it's the other side of the family?
Correct.
Okay. Also, is there somebody young who crossed over?
How young?
I don't know. Somebody who didn't grow old. Somebody like in their 20s or 30s.
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. And I think there is. I don't know who this is. Is there a J person around you?
Yes.
A male?
Yes.
Is he spelled J-O? Or
yes.
Like John or Joseph?
Joe.
Josh or John?
Joe.
Joe. Okay. Is he living?
No.
He's deceased. Was he young when he crossed over?
Yes, kind of young, yes.
Okay. I feel like he's the young energy I'm getting, or the younger energy who didn't grow old.
Yes.
Is this family to you?
Yes.
Is it your brother, your uncle? Who is this?
My father.
Oh, your father. Okay, I wasn't sure who this was. Okay, like I feel like your Joe is around you. He wants you to know that he knows what's going on in your world.
Okay.
And are you trying to change something with your work or your job?
I've thought about it, yes.
Or have you thought about getting extra schooling or counseling or something?
Definitely, yes. I would like to go back to school.
Okay, that's what I feel they're encouraging you to do better.
Okay.
What was the separation of your parents his death, or did they separate before that?
Was death.
With his death.
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like he wants you to let your mom know that who's the S or C? Show me an S or C, or K or C. Is there besides you? Is there an S or C?
My boyfriend starts with an S.
Is he spelled S with the T in his name,
No.
or an N,
No.
or M?
No.
But he starts with S.
Yes.
But there's not an N in his name, or is it Seth? What's his name?
Skylar.
Okay, I wasn't sure what his name was. Are you guys talking about living together?
Yes.
But you're not living together yet?
No, we're not.
But you're thinking about it?
Yes.
I have a feeling you're going to. Are you hesitant about living together?
No, I'm not. No. Neither of us are.
Okay, because I have a feeling you're going to.
Great.
Yeah, but there's also something about money and how to organize money.
Okay, yes.
Like you're not sure who's going to pay for what and how to organize money. Is that true?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
when Joe crossed over, when your dad crossed over, was there did you have signs from him? Did you have things happen in your house? Did you have any lights go on and off, or did you have a visitation, like a vivid dream from him?
All the time, yes.
You have it now.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I feel like he's trying to connect with you. I feel like he's trying to let you know something. And when spirits come to us and we have vivid dreams about them, it means that they're symbolic, that he's trying to guide you in some way. Can you briefly tell me what your last dream was?
I'm not sure. I don't remember my last dream. I think it was him and my mom on a cruise, if I'm not mistaken. They went on a vacation together. But he does send me signs all the time. He does like triple numbers and stuff like that.
Right. Does he also use nature to connect with you?
Typically when I'm sitting outside, yeah,
is there like
he'll
a
come
bird
to me.
or butterfly or?
Yes, butterflies and feathers.
Yeah, because he's saying what you think is him is him. But he's also showing me a light went out. Did a light bulb break or a light bulb bust?
Yeah, he did that a few times in my house. Yes.
Yeah, he's saying he's learned to use electricity. So when he's connecting with you, he's learned to use electricity, and also he did something with your phone.
Yes, he did. He was my phone. When he had a business, he would come up as private. He never had his phone number.
Right.
And that was the only person that ever called private. And it was for some random reason on my parents' anniversary, I started getting phone calls from private, and I would pick it up and there would be nobody there.
Yeah. So your daddy's definitely connecting with you, and he's saying there's another Joe or Joseph. Was his dad a Joe or Joseph, or his grandpa? Who is it?
My cousin is Joseph.
Yeah. Okay. There's somebody else deceased that you don't know, maybe.
My uncle or his father. His father passed away.
His dad is Joseph, right?
It's I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Is his dad Joseph?
No, he's not.
Okay,
no.
Then there's somebody else, and also is there somebody who's a Robert or Richard, or a William or Bill?
Trisha's dad is Robert. Oh yeah, a friend of mine's father is Robert.
A friend of yours father is Bill?
Is Robert.
Is Robert. Is he deceased?
Yes, he is.
Can you? I feel like he's wanting you to tell your friend, and Robert didn't grow really old either, right?
No, he did not.
I feel like he wants you to tell your friend that Robert's spirit is at peace and is okay, like they're in a good, I call it a neighborhood. I believe there's different neighborhoods in the spirit world, and that there's that he's at peace and he's okay. And he's showing me a piece of cake. So I don't know if there's a birthday coming up or he loved cake or
He was diabetic, so maybe he's able to enjoy his cake now.
that would be really, really fun, I think, once you cross over if you couldn't have sugar. But no, he's showing me cake. I think it means something else. Unless there's a birthday or his birthday or an anniversary or something. There's nothing like that now?
No, her birthday's in May.
No, about you, but not his or anyone else. Okay.
I'm not sure of his birthday.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. Don't worry about it. The only thing, I don't know. There's a cake and a celebration, and I'm not sure what it is, so I'm going to move on.
Okay.
I don't know where. Is there a brother? Do you have a brother?
I was supposed to.
Was there a miscarriage or abortion or?
There was a miscarriage.
Yeah. Okay. He's with the brother. He's wanting your mom and you to know that he's with the child, the boy.
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like he wasn't meant to be on the earth. I feel like there would have been issues, and so, things like that happen in life. But you need to let your mom know. Did your mom start dating again, or does she have a boyfriend or husband?
Yeah, she has a boyfriend.
Yeah. He's saying he wants her to be happy. He wants her to have romance.
Okay.
Do you like this guy?
No.
You have an issue with him, I could tell.
Yes.
Do you feel like your mom is like desperate and just hung on to somebody just because she was lonely and wanted somebody?
Yes.
Your mom needs therapy. Your mom needs to go to a therapist. She's jumping. She's jumping the gun with this thing, I feel.
Yes.
And I feel like she had a gut feeling at first, like not to go into this, but then she jumped into it, and I feel like she might have suffered the consequences from it. And I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I get feelings like this, and I feel like you're right about this with your mom, and your mom really needs to. Oh, you know what? You're in Michigan, right?
Yes.
Dr. Alicia Tisdale, my sister, is a great therapist.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Nikki can give you all the information. Anyway, thank you so much for letting me read for you. Your daddy's at peace. Your daddy's in a good place. And and have fun moving in with your boyfriend. I think your boyfriend's okay, though. Just not your mom's boyfriend.
I know. I like mine. I don't like hers.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Take good care.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody. You know what? Talking about getting therapy, I was thinking today about the Parkland shooting massacre, and they said on the news that this young man who murdered everyone had voices in his head that told him to do this. Now, everybody who watches CharVision knows that I always say there's a physical world, there's an energetic world, and in the energetic world, there's good and evil, just like in the physical world. And people, and I'm not saying that, who knows, maybe the guy was schizophrenic. And there's a difference between schizophrenic and being possessed by a spirit. But our society, our world needs to really get their acts together about mental illness, because it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I feel like I'm a bit ahead of my time, but I've always been. And I'm not to sound cocky or conceited or anything, but I've always been ahead. I've been doing this for over 45 years on TV before anybody else really was. I was the first TV psychic, really, and so what I found is people who that are schizophrenic and have different personalities and voices that speak through them. But a lot of people, some people, have voices that come through them from a lower level energy in the spirit world, and they think they're being guided by God, and they're not. They're being tricked because the devil was a fallen angel. So sleep on that one. You know, I just wish there were more psychiatrists and psychologists who knew more about this. One of them is my sister, Dr. Alicia Tisdale, and she and I wrote a book together called The Psychic and Psychologist, which was published in the Netherlands when I was doing my TV shows there. And I'm planning on publishing it in America as well. Well, we are planning on publishing it in America. So my great guest, Dr. Cherilyn Lee, is on her way. So do you want to cut to a commercial? And then we're going to do this. Don't go anywhere. She's fascinating. Hey, everybody. You probably think I only do individual readings, but sometimes I get a message for everybody. And I wrote a poem that was channeled through me, and I'd like to read it to you. It's called Until We Meet Again by Char Margolis, a message from heaven. My work is done. It's time to leave. Know that I am also missing you as you grieve. I completed my karma on the earth, and now it is time for my rebirth. I'm flying with eagles and dancing on stars. Please know that I haven't gone far. The love we have will carry us through until the day I am again with you. What an amazing journey this passing over can be. I am in good company. I know you hurt, but please trust me. Our journey together is for eternity. So until the day our souls reunite, stay peaceful and well, and use your spirit sight. I will bring you signs from up above, a butterfly, a bird, my sign of love. Don't worry about me. I'm in good hands. Stay strong, stay positive, and continue to pray. When it is your natural day to graduate from the earth, look for me in the bright white light. We have completed our purpose, and all will be right. This is handmade. It's signed by me. It's an affordable gift for any occasion. Just go to char.net and click on store. Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's Char. Well, many of you have asked if I teach psychic intuition, and I do. Everybody has a sixth sense. Everybody has an ability to prevent problems and attain goals in their lives. And I'd love to teach you. Just go to char.net, CHARNET, and join one of my classes. And call Nikki, and she'll help you out. Remember, intuition will take you places logic never could. Okay, you guys, I am so honored to have this lady here today. She has been acknowledged by President Obama. She got an award for her work, her volunteer work. She's a registered nurse, a physician's assistant, a board-certified nurse practitioner, and received a PhD in holistic nutrition. And her commitment is to help people with a holistic approach to health retention. And she has a bunch of. She's got so many certificates. I don't know. Now I know what you've done with your time. Yeah. Okay. So this is Dr. Cherilyn Lee. Yes. I'm saying it right,
yes.
right?
Yes, you are.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's such an honor and a pleasure to be here. I was so nervous. I said, because I'm usually on the other side, but it's just an honor to be here with you.
Okay, well,
thank you so much.
We met at the Conscious Life Expo.
Yes.
Last weekend.
Last Sunday.
And I said to Tony, where have you been hiding this lady from me for so long? Because I'm so into holistic, alternative healing and medicine and stuff. But, there's so much to talk about with you. But first of all, tell us how Barack Obama gave you an award for what? For 44,000 hours of volunteer work?
It has to be 7,000 hours of volunteer services. And I have a nonprofit, and I do so many things in the community and at large, even other speaking engagements. So when I have speaking engagements, I also do what is called beauty shop stroke screening women don't know they have plaque along the carotid artery or in the vertebral, and more women are dying from strokes than they are breast cancer. So
Really?
yeah. So my two components of screening is beauty shop stroke screening. I named it beauty shop or beauty parlor because of the fact if you're in a bowl having your hair done and you have plaque along the carotid or the back of the neck, and it's hard plaque, and you go back and forth, it could break off, and you can have a stroke while you're having your hair done.
How do you? That's crazy. How do you do this? How do you X-ray this?
Well, this is not an X-ray. This is an ultrasound. So the company.
Do you do this in your office?
I actually do this in my office, and I do this as a concierge. The company ANS Diagnostic is the one that does this for me. So when I do expos, they come out and they provide this for me for free because they know this is my passion.
That's amazing.
Isn't that a blessing? That's why I'm a magnet for miracles.
That's amazing.
But I am so grateful that they will come and do this. So I do this a lot for any type of hair shows, which I'll be doing it in March. So if people want to come and have it done for free, you can have it done for free.
Now I'm afraid to go get my hair done.
Well, no, just make sure you don't have the plaque. That's all. And if you do, we work on getting rid of it. That's what you need to know.
And how do you get rid of it?
There's some nutritional ways. Just looking at overall nutrition, getting a good history, looking at some other markers like inflammation markers to make sure there's not a lot of inflammation. Keep in mind, if you have plaque here in your neck, there's going to be plaque maybe around the heart and other places. So we check this for free at our events. But if it's other plaque,
And when's your next event?
well, there's a hair show coming up called Spectrum International Beauty at the Marriott.
In L.A.?
In L.A. And I will
Which
be there.
Marriott?
Marriott LAX.
LAX, okay.
And I will be there doing stroke screening and vascular
Okay,
screening.
by the way, you guys, today is the 16th of February 2018, in case you're watching this on YouTube. You got to know that because we might have people running there in
Yes.
in the year 2020 or something. So
Yes.
okay, so the date is when? February?
The date is March.
Oh, March what?
It's March, please.
Okay, go to her website.
Huh? 18th and 19th of
Thanks,
March.
Tony.
Tony,
18th
you're
and
good.
19th Tony's the best.
He's the best.
Tony is the best.
18th
Okay,
and
so-
19th at the Marriott, the Spectrum International Beauty.
Yeah.
And for 2 days, I'll be there doing stroke screening.
Okay, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. Can I come to your office?
Yes, you can, because I do many things in my
Okay,
office.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not about me. Sorry, everybody.
okay.
So when you were 7 years old, the doctor wanted to amputate your legs, both of them.
Yes, I was scheduled to have both my legs amputated when I was 7.
That's crazy.
It's beyond crazy, and I had a condition, eczema, and I had it really bad. I mean, I had it in my face, my neck, my arms. I actually looked like a walking creature, like a raccoon from a distance, because it was just really, really bad. It's just really black around here, a big mess. So, but my legs were really bad. Mm-hmm. It looked as though someone had taken a match and put them both on fire. To the point I couldn't even walk. They had contractures, the sores had contracted, and it was just very painful. So most of my elementary school time, I was at home sick. I wasn't around kids and having fun like other kids in the summertime. I was locked away in the house. Between the asthma and the eczema,
Oh no.
I had a pretty sad childhood. And most people don't realize that now. I mean, because I'm happy and outgoing,
Well, yeah, you're amazing.
you know. But, you know, it was part of my journey. But my mother had taken me in because I'd been in so many times. And this last time, the doctor said, you know what, she's going to have septicemia. You're going to have a blood poisoning because your legs are so inflamed. And it was like the sores were my legs didn't even look like legs. And we need to amputate. So he said, above the thigh, so many inches above the thigh, both legs. So it was a team of doctors that walked in the room and told my mother this. And my mother kind of lowered her head and started praying and crying and said, this can't happen. This cannot happen to my daughter. And so I was so young, I knew she was upset, and I could hear what he was saying, and I just got very frightened. And one doctor stood aside out of the 7. He said, I'm going to work with her. I'm going to work with her personally to help her legs to heal.
Wow.
And that's
where were you? What city?
I was at Big County Hospital in Los Angeles, California.
Wow.
Yeah, I was at county facility.
And and this man dedicated himself.
He dedicated
to healing
himself.
you.
He dedicated
Is
himself.
he still alive?
I was 7, and now that was almost,
Oh.
that was almost 60 years ago.
Okay.
So I don't know. I said I want to go back and pull the records
Of who
to see
this
if I could
man
find
was.
him. And if he isn't, I really want to meet his family. I really want to meet his family because
That would be like a real blessing.
Yeah,
And you
it
should bring
would.
his family on your show. You have a show at UBN.
Yes.
Right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
What's the name of your show?
Nuwellness TV with Dr. Lee.
Okay. You guys, you got to watch this at
Yes,
UBN.
every
network.
Wednesday,
Tony's
11 o'clock.
Tony, you have so many good people here.
Yeah, I'm so honored and blessed. When I had a meeting with Tony, he was telling me, there's someone who told me about the show, and I came up here and met with Tony on a Sunday, and I was thinking, oh God, can I afford this? Can I afford this? And then Tony said how much it was, and I'm like, okay. I said, now how do I pay this? And he said, when he said weekly, then I said, you know what?
Yeah.
This'll work. And I left here so happy. He just didn't know, Tony, what you did for my heart that day. You
Tony's
really did.
a healer in
Yeah.
so many ways. You are, Tony. Okay, so you wrote a book. Sorry. It's not about
okay.
you, Tony. It's about her. So you wrote a book
Yes.
called Written Before I Was Born.
Yes.
So tell us about your book.
Well, the title of the book came about with a dear friend. I had taken a course, but really I have 3 daughters, and one of my daughters had a dream
Okay.
when she was 12. She's in her 40s now.
Yeah, you look amazing, however old you are.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
She's
You
in
look
her
amazing.
40s now, and in her dream, she said she came into the office, and there was a bookshelf there. And the bookshelf was very tall, and she said, Mommy, there's your book. There's your book.
Oh, I
It's
got
at the top.
goosebumps.
And it's dusty. We need to get it down. We need to get it down off the shelf. Mom, your book is very dusty. And I just kept writing and not paying her any mind. And she kept trying to reach it and kept trying to reach. She took her little arms and kept trying to reach it and stand on her toes and kept trying to reach for this book. And finally, she said God took her arms and pulled her arms down to the side of her body and told her, you cannot get this book for your mother. She has to get it for herself.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
So did I. All over again.
All over, right?
again. Yeah.
That's the sign of the truth from
Yes.
the heavens.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's entitled Written Before I Was Born.
Okay, so the thing, when we were talking last week, the thing that fascinated me, so many things fascinate me about you.
Oh, same here.
Thank you.
With you as well.
Thank
you
you.
know.
But you were in a coma twice.
Yes.
You had 2 near-death experiences, right?
Yes.
Okay. Please share with our Char visionaries about this because this is fascinating.
Well, it's really odd because the first coma in the 80s I would not talk about. The second coma I would, but the first coma I would not because the
Okay.
first coma I went to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was an experience that I would never want anyone to have. But I was also in a dark place in my life. It's funny because my ex-husband called me while I was coming here. I was going through a divorce. It was just very traumatic. It was very stressful. He is my patient now, and we are friends, so I can say that. And he's aware of that because his chapter in my book is
To be
entitled, Lipstick on His Shorts. So
But you forgave him.
I forgave him. And that's why I told him, I said, don't get caught up on the title or the beginning couple of paragraphs. Just know it's the end result. This is important. I forgave you. And forgiveness is healing. But, I was going through so much during that time that with everything happening in my life with the divorce and not having the children, the family setting the way it was, it was just very painful. And I did something that a lot of women don't do.
What'd you do?
But I did it because my ex had other children, and I wanted him to be close. He was very close to my daughters. But what I did was let my girls live with their dad.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm still dealing with things because of that.
And-
But still,
Well, we choose our parents to learn life's lesson, and life is a school, and we're here to learn. So there's
thank you for saying
hard
that.
lessons, and there's, we do, everybody does the best they can do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so go on, finish. Sorry.
So, it was during the holidays. And, during the holidays, you're so used to family. Even though he was a type person who had multiple relationships. I didn't have a husband for the whole holiday day. So I was sharing him with someone else. Hope he's not watching. But anyway.
She probably did you a favor.
Oh, no, she did.
She did you a favor. Maybe karmically, in a past life, something happened with you and her, and maybe she did you a favor by distracting him to get him out of there so you could do all your healing work and all the great things
I became
you
a totally different person. Totally different. I was in a supermarket 3 months after my divorce, and someone saw me and they said, "Oh my goodness, did you take a vacation? You look great." I said, "No, I got a divorce."
Okay, but
it just did something to my overall being.
So back to your near-death experience, because I see people think, oh, when you die, there's, violins and angels flying around and everything. And that is not true.
No.
Because I know a woman who had a near-death experience and smelled sulfur, and it was in terrible pain. And when she came back on Earth, she was supposed to do better, and she didn't. And when I was on Dr. Oz, they had a guy on that never believed in anything, didn't believe in Christ, didn't believe in God, didn't believe in anything. And he had a near-death experience. He was in terrible pain. He saw demons and devils, and he was mentally and physically disrupted and in pain and agony. And for the first time in his life, he called on Jesus.
Is he a minister?
No, he's not.
Okay.
But he called on Jesus, and Jesus came, and he said, "My son, I will take care of you, but you have to go back on the earth and do good." And he did, and from then on, he believed in God, and he believed in Christ. And by the way, I'm Jewish, so... But
yes.
I believe in all this stuff. I believe that there's angels and positivity and that people in Christ and goodness.
I've seen them.
And my dad always said God is love and love is God. And I've seen him too.
Yes.
So anyway, I believe that you had this first near-death experience and then you came back and you were a different person.
I was No, it's what brought me out of the coma. It's what.
Oh, it brought you out of the coma.
What brought me out of the coma, because I had said I did not want to live. And, I didn't say it, but you know how you think it, because it's the holidays and you get so depressed during that time because you don't have the family anymore. And it was just very painful for me. I mean, I got married and met him when I was 18, married at 19. So it was just very painful to go through that. And here it is holiday, and that was the first holiday of not being with the children. And so I just thought, I just don't want to be here anymore. And I just felt this. I just don't want to be here anymore. It's not the same. Where's the family connection? Even though I had him half a day, at least I had him half a day with the family and everything, but that was gone. And so when I had this really bad asthma attack, is so much of the story. But the paramedics came to my godmother's house and they said, "My goodness, how long have you been like this, not able to breathe well?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, I've only been this way for a short period. I mean, I didn't see myself in the mirror." So when I got to the hospital, I remember the gentleman walking up to me, and then I slipped away into a coma. And in this coma, I was in a very black pit. And as dark as the pit was, this object in a cloak came up to me. And hearing the sulfur smell, bad smell, the cloak was darker than the pit because I could see the cloak. Wow. And it was this close in my face. And it said, "You asked for this, and you can have it." And what I said is, God, forgive me. Forgive me. I want to live. And I came to.
Wow.
It was a forgiveness. Forgiveness is so powerful, and that's what I speak on now, is forgiveness. Wow. It was so powerful. So as soon as I said, God, forgive me, I want to live, I was back.
What a lesson for us all.
Yeah. And
What
I
a
was
lesson.
admitted, and the doctor who came to my room said, when they brought you in, the paramedics, I would not have given 5 cents for your life. You were gone. And I didn't even know I was even gone then.
Amazing. That's
She said-
amazing. And then,
Yeah.
so then you.
So 10 years later,
Yeah.
fast forward, things were going better, but we had the horrible civil unrest where I lost my business, my car, my part-time job.
Oh no.
I was homeless.
You could
yeah.
have come to my house.
It's been it's been a roller coaster, and I'm glad I've had these journeys. I stayed between the Good Night Inn, and I was able to. I had lost my business. I was sharing space with a cardiologist at the time, who got a little upset because I wouldn't put out, so he put me out. I said okay, but I was working somewhere else part time, and so the manager at this place is a Ross Medical Plaza. She said, "Why don't you come here and open up a clinic over here, since you're working over here part time anyway?" And it happened just like this. He wrote me a letter and told me to get out. She was writing up the lease agreement for me to move into the building.
Unbelievable.
And the same week, I went into the coma.
And why did you go into coma?
Stress. It was so much stress from losing everything and the fires. I was actually engaged at the time, and that was not. I had called it off. It wasn't going great because it kind of was crazy.
Wait, what fires? I missed the fire part.
The Rodney King.
1992. 1992. Oh.
Yeah. So with
Why
all
can't
the
we all get along?
fires, and the smoke and the asthma history.
Oh my goodness.
And then trying to work and then trying to keep up with my children because of an ex-husband who married a week after I divorced him, and then that was kind of falling
But
through.
did you have a near-death experience then?
Yeah, so that's what I'm
who
saying.
Okay, so what
I
did
went
you
into the
see?
coma.
Who did you
So
see?
I went to the hospital. Actually, I drove myself. I couldn't breathe. I drove myself, got there, got out the car. I could breathe, but not well. And by the time I got in there, into the exam room, I actually fell off of the exam table. Some people were there and said, "You actually fell off the exam table." And when I fell off the exam table, I actually told him, "This is it. I can't breathe anymore." I remember saying that. This is it.
Oh, wow.
It's funny how I worked with somebody, and that was the name of the concert. This is it.
Oh, yeah, right?
But I said, "This is it. I cannot breathe anymore." And he couldn't turn on the O2. Now, I used to work in ER. I wanted to say, "Give me the oxygen," and I'll turn it on myself.
Oh, no.
And I went into this beautiful white light.
Ooh.
It was so beautiful.
Ooh.
And I could see the light, and my body suspended into this white light. It was so wonderful. And after going to the light, I was placed on a cloud. This is why I love to fly, because it always feels like I could feel that space.
Right.
And I was on this cloud, and God ministered to me and told me things for 4 days. So I kept going from L.A. to New York. So I still...
Like in astral travel?
Yeah. So I knew it was New York because I kept looking over and seeing the Statue of Liberty. So I said, there's something still that I'm going to do in New York. I don't know what it is. I'm still living, so it's going to happen at some time. But I kept seeing that. So God just ministered to me for the whole entire 4 days. So near the end, I was on my knees, and he said, "You have to go back."
Oh.
And
Did you want to come back?
No.
It was so euphoric, right?
No, it's so euphoric. But you don't know. The thing is, you don't know the past.
Right.
You don't know you have children. You don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
No.
You didn't know?
I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to.
Wow.
I wasn't supposed to. Because what I tell people is what you do in your life is it's here and now. It's right here, it's right now. It's not the past. If you keep looking over the past and going over the past, you can never go forward. So I just knew where I was so blissful and so wonderful. I just wanted to keep going forward. I have to keep going forward, not backwards.
And you've realized your purpose, that you really have a purpose.
Well, I realized my purpose when I came out the coma, but I didn't realize it at first, because when I came out the coma, I thought I was being punished because I came out the coma and my ex-husband was standing there.
Oh, gee.
I'm like, how could I come out the coma? Is this a punishment? Why is he here? Of all people. Which he was concerned, but why is he here? I don't want to come. And I didn't want to come back. So I didn't talk to people for like 3 days. I was very angry with God. I was very angry for sending me back.
Oh,
so
my.
I had to get past that.
But it wasn't your time.
It wasn't my time.
It wasn't your. I'm so glad that he sent you
when
back.
I really knew it was my purpose is when I was able to sign the lease agreement 4 days out of a coma while I was in ICU. And went back in business. So I tell people, whatever is for you.
And now you're healing people. And you spend every day healing people.
Every day.
And I know that, and I knew today I had to write out your own questions, because I usually have everybody else write their own questions. I had to write her questions today.
Yes.
And one of the questions that I have for you is, you met with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
It's in your book.
Yes.
What do you tell us about that? Because I just have to say, Gina walked in here, Gina Rogolo, my manager, she's here, and she has to tell you the funniest story about her date with Michael Jackson.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I mean, maybe we'll have Gina on the show one day so she can tell you the story if she doesn't kill me first. Anyway, tell us about your experience.
My experience with Michael Jackson, he liked to be called MJ.
MJ.
Was... There are no words to describe my experience with him. The most kindest, the most gentlest. Business, but he's very business too.
Right.
Very business.
Smart.
Very smart. Very, very smart. Because I used to ask him, I asked the staff, how does he want me to come dressed? Because, there's so many people around his house. Well, just come in your white coat and your clothes, So.
And did you now you do IVs for people?
Yeah, but we didn't meet that way. I met him from his security. Because his security the young guy was my patient as well.
Oh.
And so his mother is my friend. And so he called me and said, the kids have a cold.
Michael Jackson's mother? Or the security guy's mother?
The security guy's mother, I'm sorry.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, go on.
Let me keep it clear.
Okay.
Because I didn't meet the mom until later. But anyway, so I already had asked, what are some of the symptoms of the kids? So when I got there, I knew the ages, the symptoms, and everything. And I'm like, okay. So I get there, and I took everything with me to do vital signs, to do lab work as necessary, to do throat cultures and everything. So I said, we're going to set up a vitamin C party.
Oh.
So I set up a vitamin C party with the kids.
Uh-huh.
I set up a glutathione nebulizer party with them. So we kind of did some things, and they had fun. So when I left and doing all their treatment, they had no runny nose, and they felt good.
Well, did you give them IVs?
Oh, no, not the kids.
It wasn't a vitamin C IV.
No, not the kids.
But you do that in your office, right?
I do that in my office, but then Michael, when I finished with the children, he asked me, what else do you do? Because he saw how I worked with his children. And I know he had looked me up, because I told him I wasn't a pediatrician in the very beginning, know, and I'm not an MD. So I said, I want to make that clear. He said, no, I already know. Oh. So then I said, well, I do IVs of vitamin C and other things. They're anti-aging. You feel great. You have a lot of energy.
You do the Myers IVs?
The Myers, yeah.
I've had that.
Yes. And then I do a modified Myers. So you feel really, really wonderful. So he said, well, I want to have one. Can you come back tomorrow? And I said, well, Michael, I can do like a little mini IV tomorrow, but really I need to do lab work. Because there's certain blood tests that needs to be done before you do any high doses or even minimum doses sometime of vitamin C. And it's just called a G6PD blood test. So I said, let's do all your blood tests. And then when I got there, he said, well, I'm feeling a little tired. It's all on the transcripts. And so he thought he was anemic. So I said, well, let's just do everything, to see how healthy you are. Because I didn't think he was really sick anyway. So the lab work came back, and there were a couple little things that we worked on and repeated it in a couple of months, and they were fine. But, we would sit there and talk. He would have his IV, and smallest veins, and he would say, "Don't worry about my veins. If you miss, don't worry about it." And I'm like, I was just so nervous. It's like
It's Michael Jackson.
it's like I don't want
the
to.
king of pop.
You cannot be missing, So,
Well,
but
did you go to Neverland?
no, that's when
Oh.
he was over.
Oh,
And yeah,
okay.
yeah, no, I've never been
That's
there.
it's amazing, and so there's one more thing before we have to move on that I need to know about the mask, antiviral. What is this thing you created?
Well, what I created actually will be hitting the market within the next 10 days.
What's it called?
It is a pure air mask. It's called pure air mask, but it's infiltrated with a mineral that helps block out pathogens.
Okay.
So you don't inhale them. So it will be going on the market.
So does that mean if I'm around someone who has the flu and I have this mask on, I don't get the flu? Or?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you why I designed it first.
Okay,
It
why?
will help with that. Because I could never clean my house. I could not clean my house
'cause of your
because because I was allergic to dust.
Oh, you're allergic
So
to dust.
I
okay.
designed this for me. Everything basically that I have developed, I needed it for myself. I mean, I had to stop having excuses for not cleaning up and letting my kids come into my house, which one is here right now, probably say something. But anyway, the thing is, so I put on the mask and then I can do everything myself. Because you know how you do in your own housework. You can hire someone to come in and do your work, but certain
Right.
things
You
want
wanna
to
do
do
yourself.
yourself because you know what you want to throw away. You don't want people all around you. And you want to take your time.
Right.
So only time I could clean up, and I have a niece who used to come and help me, but she picks up things and she throws them, and then she's fanning dust. I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I actually developed this for myself. So I said, was telling people about it, and they're like, well, I want it. I want one.
And
then
how do we get one?
so you'll get. I have something for you. I'll be
You
bringing
do?
it to you.
Okay.
Not
what
tonight,
about
but-
all our Char visionaries? How do they get one?
Well,
Thank you, by the way. I'm excited.
They're
So
going to be
excited.
able to go on my website. We actually did a little work differently. So if you go on right now,
Do you have her website underneath there,
we're
Tony?
redesigning the website. So don't pull it up
Okay.
right now.
Okay,
He's
okay,
actually
but everybody who's listening, who's not seeing video, who's only hearing audio.
They'll be able to go to Nuwellnesshealthcare.com
Okay.
and they'll be able to purchase. It's very inexpensive.
Okay.
So it's a specialized mineral, and actually it's so specialized that if you have a lot of cold and mucus going on, respiratory or sinus, you can actually
I am
use this.
so excited about this, and I have like medical doctors who do holistic work in Michigan that I really need to get you over there, or them
wonderful.
to you. Excuse me, or them to you. I mean, they're. I can't even. I'm just too excited about the whole thing about what all the healing work you're doing. Wow. So, okay, so they can get the mask through the website when the website's up. By the way, everybody, today is February 16th, 2018. Just in case you're watching this on YouTube, Dr. Cherilyn Lee, sorry.
That's okay.
I am so grateful that you're here. Will you come back again?
I will come back, and I
You
will bring
will?
you one personally. I don't have to be on the show to bring it to you.
You will?
I will.
Oh, well, I can come to you.
Okay.
Can Sunny
Okay.
come? Are you allergic to
Oh,
Sunny?
no, and I just want to pet him. So
Okay,
nice. He's
okay. Well,
so
you can. Here,
beautiful.
you fed him while we say goodbye. Okay, there you go.
Oh, so
Go say hi,
beautiful.
Sunny. He's a healer dog, by the way.
I can tell.
You can tell,
Yeah.
right? He's a healer. Okay, everybody, that's it for
won't
now.
drop you. I won't
This
drop
is
you.
CharVision. I want to thank Dr. Cherilyn Lee, and I want to thank Stacy, my reading person, and her daddy for Spirit for coming in, Joe, and my huge audience in here for being here with me. Literally, they're all cramped up in a little space. Tony, thank you so much for everything. Nikki in Michigan, thank you so much. And remember, everybody, intuition will take you places logic never could. Bye-bye. Be well.